What's good, guys? More single card discussions for you guys, and a really cool card drop today. I definitely do like this card, and it's a Lyrilusc card. The Lyrilusc archetype definitely saw some play early on in the last format we were just in before Lightning Overdrive dropped, and it was played with the Tri Brigades. I was not too impressed with that deck. I don't know if you guys were. Let me know in the comments below. But that deck seemed very weak to hand traps. The Lyrilusc are good. They don't require that many normal summons. They all feel like they special summon out of the hand. But that deck, uh, its key thing that it tried to do was turbo out the Samorg link and then go to the barrier statue. But that whole play was very weak to hand traps, very weak to Ash, Nibiru, which I did not like. I never thought that version of the deck was that good, but I did think the Tri Brigade cards are insane, and I do think in a vacuum the Lyrilusc cards are also really good because they seem very free. They're just a lot of advantage, free special summons, not very normal summon reliant. But I think playing Tri Brigade with Lyrilusc was not the way, especially because we were in a format with so many hand traps. But slowly, as I keep reading these Lyrilusc cards that are dropping in the OCG, I'm getting very impressed by this. And I know OCG is slowly trending towards playing the Lyriluscs in their deck. We'll see what happens if anything changes in the TCG as we come closer to the new Lyrilusc cards. But let's get on with the new card, Lyrilusc Bird Strike. And it's definitely going to remind you of something that we have in our format already, a side deck card, essentially. So you can only activate one card with this name per turn. If you control a Lyrilusc monster, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. Normal spell card. What does that remind you of? Dark Ruler No More. Dark Ruler No More is such a strong spell, and now we have a archetypal spell that it can be searched. Yes, this card can be searched in Lyrilusc if you once the newer cards come out, and I'll show you which ones do that. The comparisons you can make, I guess, is Dark Ruler No More probably is still a little bit better just because the monsters can't react to Dark Ruler No More, but monsters can react to Bird Strike. They can negate it, but I definitely still like Bird Strike. I think it would have been over the top if you can't negate it and it was literally Dark Ruler No More. And I think the restriction of only controlling a Lyrilusc monster is not that big at all, especially because if you actually see the cards, read the cards, play the deck, everything just specials itself. It's very easy to get a Lyrilusc monster, and I like that it didn't require a Lyrilusc XYZ or something crazy like that, because then I would immediately throw this card out the window. But no, it's just any of those little birds, and you can negate everything. You could, if it gets negated, you can activate multiples, and unlike Dark Ruler, you can OTK through this. Dark Ruler makes it so you can't do damage for the turn, but this card, you can still try to kill them, and Lyrilusc can definitely try to OTK. But let's get on with... So this is a normal Tri Brigade Zoo deck, except for the bottom three, because I just want to go through these three cards. For the moment being in the TCG, I don't think there's much variance other than the flex spots. Like, the Tri Brigades are going to look like that. I think it's better to play with the Zoo cards because it's just easy. It's just better for the moment being, just because it doesn't play into so many hand traps, and you have space to fit all these traps. And like the flex spots are obviously the hand traps and the traps. I'll let you guys decide what you guys want to play, but for the moment being, I highly recommend playing this deck like that. But the Lyrilusc cards are catching my attention slowly, and some of them are really crazy. I think the spell card is... The XYZs are good, and these three cards are kind of nice, but the spell card really caught my attention right away. So they've been playing around, OCG's been playing around with this card. Add to your hand or send to the graveyard one Lyrilusc monster from your deck, then you can special summon one Lyrilusc monster with a different name from your hand. So solid, such a solid support card. If we had this right now, I think, and the other two monsters, I think there's a chance, there's an argument to be made that there are certain advantages to the Lyrilusc deck. And like I said, the Lyrilusc deck definitely has a higher ceiling because you're going for a bigger combo, and that's kind of why it's weaker to these hand traps like Nibiru, like Ash. You're always going to be more susceptible to hand traps when you're trying to do a bigger combo, when you're trying to drop that Wind Barrier statue with your other negates. And then the card that can actually search the new archetype Dark Ruler No More is Lyrilusc Celeste Wagtail. If this card is special summon, you could add one Lyrilusc spell trap from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Lyrilusc XYZ monster you control, attach this card to it as material. I think they might play a copy of it. If you're going to play the other spells and traps, and there's a few other ones, I haven't gotten around to reading all of it. This is all just very new to me because I really don't keep track of these cards, but now that I've been reading the cards as they come out, I definitely like knowing about what's going on in the OCG, just because we get a we get a like a vision into the future of what we might be doing as well. And I know a lot of people do like the Lyrilusc cards. And then the last one that I really did think was interesting was the Canary. If this card is in your hand, you can target one Lyrilusc monster in your graveyard, special summon both this card and that target. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except XYZ monsters. So yeah, there's a drawback right there, but it's still just like a free XYZ, and then you could go into Zeus. It doesn't restrict you from the Zeus, I believe. Yeah. So I think these cards are really cool. I think getting Bird Strike is going to. Now that everybody saw Bird Strike, I think more people are going to be paying attention to these cards as they drop. I think a lot of people are happy about this card. I don't know if it's going to be like game breaking because you can still negate this card, so I don't think it's that unfair. But I can definitely see this card as a one of in your main deck or just side this card. I think it's really solid. Let me know what you guys think. And let me know what you guys think about the whole entire debate between what kind of Tri Brigade deck is the best, because there's so many different ways to play it. You could play it pure, you could play it with Ancient Warriors, Zoos. So let me know what you guys think about that. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And stay tuned for more, guys. Peace.